That's right. It's never too early to start talking about the trade deadline. We're about 6 weeks away. It's not that early. It's okay. Tom Verducci, Dan O'Dowd back. Adnan Burke here with you. So these guys are fearless. They know, hey, we got to make some moves here. Who's going to be on the move and which teams are going to be those dance partners? So, Dan, you'll kick it off first. Good position players first. Trevor's Story, a lot of focus that he's not going to be with the Rockies, perhaps. Where do you see Story going?
Match made in heaven for me. Ends up with the A's. You know, and the A's are a really interesting trade partner, because David and Billy don't think that long term. If you look at the history of their deals, they'll trade prospects for the window to win now, because the franchise is in such a state of flux all the time. So they've got a young shortstop in Allen. They have another guy from the University of Michigan named Criswell. Bill Schmidt knows him real well. He had a son play at the University of Michigan. I think that's a match that really lines up if they can figure out the money situation. And Allen, no matter how much he's going to hit, this guy is like a Galasius. He's that kind of defender, which allows them to keep Rogers at second base.
And it's interesting because you said earlier in the week on Monday, you said to me, listen, the A's up the middle, that concerns you.
They don't catch the ball at all. They're a terrible defensive team up the middle.
So that would be a huge impact move for them. Tom, a position player, Eduardo Escobar.
Yeah, I like him a lot. Listen, he's got himself in great shape this year. We know Arizona is open for business. I have him going to the White Sox. You know, with Nick Madrigal out. You know, he could play second base in my book. I know he can play anywhere. He's played mostly third, but he has played second base. I think he is a perfect complement for that lineup. You know, he's going to give you good at-bats. He likes the big moments, veteran player. He's been around. You drop him into a pennant race, he'll deliver. And listen, Arizona has to listen to just about everybody out there, right? So he's available.
Yeah, 18 straight.
I like that. That's a good call.
That is a good call there. White Sox, it's amazing how well they've been doing considering all those injuries. All right, pitchers now. Dan, Jon Gray?
Yeah, I struggle with applicant pool, so I'm trading guys that are even hurt at this point in time.
Damaged goods or perhaps damaged goods?
Damaged good. I like that. That's pretty good. You're right. I like Jon Gray going to the Rays.
Okay.
I think the Rays really need to replace Glass now. I actually think that would be good for Jon's career, because what they do down there, they could unlock something that he can't unlock in Coors Field, though he's been good this year. Better at home than the road. But I do think he'd be a great acquisition for them. And for the Rockies, they've got the smorgasbord of prospects in their system. So I think they can get more value back than holding on to him and getting a comp pick in next year's draft.
On the IL, the flexor strain, but a pending free agent. So maybe that's good news for the Rays. You don't have to re-sign the guy. We'll just pick him here for the
You just got to make sure he's healthy. He's got to come back and pitch before the deadline.
Big name, Tom, you got Max Scherzer on the move to a big team.
I wanted to go jaw-dropping as long as we're talking about trades. Remember that whole Zach Greinke trade with Houston?
Yep.
Yeah.
I got the equivalent this year. Going to the Yankees. Ooh. Max Scherzer in the Yankees. Listen, I think the Nats would love to have him back. He's a free agent at the end of the year. They're still able to trade him and re-sign him in the offseason. I think they need to start restocking their system. This is a window here, the way the Yankees did with Chapman a few years ago and re-signed Chapman. So, listen, if you make a trade for a starting pitcher in my book as a playoff team, potential playoff team, he better start one of the first 3 games of a series. And we know this guy, you know, maybe it's number 2 behind Garrett Cole. Right. You can't go wrong. But you know he's going to give you the ball and deliver in October. I think the Yankees are in a position now where not sure about Severino. He had the setback with the groin injury. Not sure about Kluber when he's coming back. Not sure about Tyone, whether he's going to find his stuff. They need some certainty in that rotation, planning for October. Nothing more certain. Mad Max.
I love that. He loves the big stage. Hasn't pitched since last Friday due to groin inflammation. Hopefully he'll be back sooner rather than later. All right, relievers now. Dan, how about Ian Kennedy?
I got Ian Kennedy going to the Astros. The Astros have to do something to back into their bullpen. Ian Kennedy's had a sneaky good year. Can give up the long ball a little bit, but his strikeouts have jumped up in the bullpen. He's a strike thrower. It's a veteran presence in the back end of their bullpen. But the Astros, they have the most, for me, the best lineup in the American League, but they've got to figure out the back end of the bullpen. Tommy, their starting rotation is really locked in right now, and they've got depth to it.
Deep, yeah, but that's a great call, too, especially a guy who's really figured out the high four-seam fastball.
He has, and he works on his breaking ball off of it. I think he's a really good match for them, and I don't think the acquisition cost will be prohibitive because he's a free agent at the end of the year.
All right, Richard Rodriguez has been amazing for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Really
They're not going anywhere. Where do you like him moving?
I like him to the Angels. Listen, I think the Angels are still on the cusp of in it or out of it. But I think at the trade deadline, they'll still be in it. I always said if you can play 500 ball for 3 or 4 months, you're in a wild card chase. So they still could use, like everybody else, help in the bullpen. You say, why would the Pirates trade a guy like this? He's 31 years old, still has a couple of years of control, sell high.
And they need bodies.
They need bodies. They can turn this guy who they basically picked up for nothing into a real good prospect or two. Because once again, July, we always know relievers, top relievers are going to be in demand. And this guy's been really good. Premier strike thrower, doesn't walk people, keeps the ball in the ballpark. Good addition for anybody.
You know, Adnan, I think the reliever market's going to be the most fascinating part of the trade deadline because you look at every contending club, except maybe just a couple, they all need bullpen help.
Yeah.
So the teams that actually have capable, impactful bullpen guys, they may be in the best position going into this trade deadline than anybody else except for Max Scherzer.